Hey guys, I just wanted to show some of the cool stuff I got in the mail today. My house is just still a mess. I still haven't wired it. I've been working on a lot of stuff right now. I'm working on converting my web server and NewsNab server over to FreeBSD, and I've pretty much gotten everything functional in a VirtualBox. And if you check the NZB forums, NZEDB, that's a fork of NewsNab, and it has a lot of extra features added onto the original open source NewsNab program. And I've been just messing with that and trying to get everything working on FreeBSD. And I got pretty much everything working now. So I've been working on that instead of working on wiring my house because it's a lot easier to just sit behind a computer and just try to type away and do stuff. But anyway, I'm getting some more hardware in the mail. I told you before I'm going to upgrade my sister's system from three terabyte drives to 5. Well, here's one of them. It's this is actually was a Mac hard drive. I mean, it's supposed to be for Macs. Freebie or ZFS doesn't care as long as it has a block device, it'll work. So now I normally get the Western Digital Element drives, but this is I don't know what this is called. You know, this one is for Macs. I don't know what they have a different name. It doesn't matter though, because I just need to tear this thing open somehow and then pull. I'm assuming it's a green drive on inside. I'm gonna plug it into my computer, go into DOS, and run WD idle 3. Turn the spin, the head parking off, because you don't want that when you're in a raid. So yeah, there's a green drive in here. I'm just gonna rip that thing open. Work on that tonight. And then here's the other thing. I spent $135 on this thing. This is a test of the cameras I'm gonna buy for my house. It is a Power over Ethernet IP camera. You can see it has analog capabilities. I don't know why this is even useful. You'd use this one for power if you don't have power over Ethernet. I'm going to end up getting a power over Ethernet switch and then have multiple of these connected to it. Or not a power over Ethernet switch. I'll use a regular gigabit switch, and I'll have a power over Ethernet injector. And that'll power like probably 4 or 5 of these in my house. But anyway, this is a 2 megapixel camera. It literally is 1920 by 1080, which unlike most cameras, even IP cameras, you'll see like 640 by 480. This is way higher than that. The only ones that are higher are like 5 megapixels, and those don't out of the box support just like RTSP or MJPEG streaming. So this supports RTSP, and I'm going to use it as RTSP MPEG-4. So it can either use as MPEG-4 or H.264. H.264 would be good for bandwidth impaired, but since it's all going to be on my LAN, I'm going to have a dedicated switch with these guys. MPEG-4 is ideal because it's less processing for my computer. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have my web server. I'm going to have another jail running ZoneMinder. If you've never seen that program, I actually have a really old video of it. That was running on a really crappy old computer. Now I'm going to end up running it on an i5 with 16 gigs of RAM and an Intel SSD. I'm eventually going to buy 2 SSDs and mirror them. And it's going to be running on FreeBSD with ZFS on root. FreeBSD 10 now supports installing FreeBSD on root just like in the installer. I just tested in VirtualBox, everything worked. I was able to add another virtual disk to it, so that's my plan. Is I'm going to just install it in the next few weeks, and then once I'm able to buy another. Well, not able to. I have money, but I mean, once I find another cheap Intel 320 SSD on eBay, I'm going to just buy that and then add it on there, and then just mirror them. It'll be pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm going to have several of these around the house. The only reason I got this one first is it's the cheapest. It's indoor only. This is slightly cheaper than the other models. It's the same camera lens and sensor as the other ones I'm going to buy. It's a Sony sensor, which are even more expensive than the other ones that you could get. The brand is IPS or IP Smart, I think. Straight from China. No middleman. No American branding. You just get it straight from China. And what the heck? Yeah, I opened this up earlier. Let me see if I can open it. Show you. See if I can do it with one hand. No. Hope I don't break it, because that would be a big waste of money. Okay. Here it is. There's a small motherboard. It's running Linux in there. Now they have other ones that are 5 megapixels, But all the 5 megapixels I've seen, there's no reason for 5 megapixels. I have a really small house. All the 5 megapixels I've seen don't out of the box or like currently support regular stuff. They only support like Internet Explorer, which means that I don't think ZoneMinder can pick it up. So ZoneMinder is a program, I've showed it before, that can collect all your cameras and do different things with them. It can analyze the stuff. Whenever I ran it before, it's worked well, but I've never ran it on an SSD with a lot of RAM and with a lot of CPU. So now I'm going to be able to really just push it to the limit. I'm going to have 4 to 5 of these 2 megapixels cameras around my house. This is going to be one in the kitchen, indoors. As you can tell, this is like not waterproof. This is a really cheap housing. They have ones that are the same. It's the same actual lens and internal computer in there, but they have better housings. They have ones that are IP66 certified. I'm not sure if actually they are certified for that, because this is a pretty new model, but which means they're waterproof. IP67 I think might be submergible, but IP66 means water and dust proof, so you can have strong winds pushing dust against it. You can have water splashing all over it, and they still should be good. I mean, it's just the housing that affects that. It's not the actual internals. So yeah, this is what I bought. It is pretty freaking sweet. I'm going to test it out tonight. I'm going to see if my cheap power over Ethernet injector that I got for $10 works with it. I'm going to eventually get that pass-through thing for about $50, and it'll provide like 8. So I could eventually add more stuff like VoIP phones if I really wanted to. I probably wouldn't, but anyway, this will be another. If I can crack that open and do that all before it gets too late, then I'm going to just try to plug this in and see the quality I can get at nighttime. You can tell there's LEDs on there. They're infrared, so you shouldn't be able to see that they're on, and I can be watching people or filming people. I'm really excited to get all that working, and I'll show you guys the final product, or at least maybe partially through. Obviously, I need to wire my house before I can wire these guys as well, but eventually everything will be wired. I'm going to have this guy 1 or 2 inside, maybe 3 or 4 outside. And yeah, I'm going to just be covering the premises, doors and any large openings with these cameras, just as a security measure and just to test things out. It is actually more expensive than just buying something at Costco, but the thing is, this is so high quality that you can really take the image afterwards and actually bring it into a court of law and just say, no, this is definitely the guy. You can tell from, you know, that mole on his face who it is. Unlike the one, I set up one for my boss. I set up a camera system at his mom's house, and it uses analog cameras, which are limited by the bandwidth of the analog stream. And yeah, I mean, you can tell what's going on, but if you just took a still image from that, it's just not good enough to hold up in a court of law. 2 megapixels, 1080p, I believe will be, though obviously at nighttime you're losing quality because there's not as much light. So anyway, I just wanted to show this. It's getting late. I need to start working on stuff. I'll see you guys later. Bye.